Hey, what's good everybody? Caps here. In today's video, I wanted to give my closing thoughts on the beta for Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent that just finished up a little bit earlier this week. So I started playing literally the minute it was released. It was super exciting. One of the highlights for me was finally being able to understand the story, being able to read the battle skill descriptions in real time, and generally just not being confused. So that was super awesome. One thing that really stood out to me was the game pretty much plays exactly like the JP version. There are some like minor differences that I hope that they implement in the launch of the global. One of them, for instance, it's super small, but it's when you are auto running on the map and you go into a battle, and then when you come back out in the JP version, it picks back up and it keeps going. Whereas in this version, it wasn't. So everything I noticed, all it was just small quality of life things, and nothing like too big or too game breaking. And so the story for me, now that I'm able to read it and understand, to me, it comes off as classic Octopath Traveler from the Switch game, but I think it does step it up a bit. My favorite storyline was the Fame storyline. I thought it was pretty dark. I think Auguste is a really, really cool villain. He's like a psychopath and he's got the marvelous thing, which is funny, but I thought that the storyline was just a little bit deeper than the other ones. I would say my second favorite was Wealth, and I like them all, but my last preference would be Power. So when the game launches, I'll probably still continue to play them in that order. Ultimately, I know how the entire story goes from this first part to the second part and kind of, where it goes from there. But yeah, so it's great, obviously, being able to understand what's going on. So in terms of looking ahead at the future, I'm like counting down the days until it gets released. I have my gut's telling me it's going to be released in June, either like mid-June, maybe the end of June, something like that. And I would not be surprised if an iOS beta was right around the corner. So speaking of which, I did end up playing this beta on a tablet, like some kind of Android tablet. I'm an Apple user through and through with my phone, laptop, and everything. And I did notice it did run a little bit differently on the Android tablet. I felt like the graphics quality was a little bit lower, but I may not have had like an up-to-date, like top-notch tablet, whereas iPads, they're iPads, so they all kind of run the same. I just felt like it looked a little better on there, but nothing like too game-breaking. So in terms of the future for this channel, I definitely still plan on making, videos and content around the game up until release, and then, all the way throughout the life cycle of the release. Some video ideas I have in mind is I'm going to create a video about who I'm going to be saving for the first 6 months or something like that, of characters that I'm looking forward to and that I love playing and I think are just really fantastic. And then I also want to make a video covering the original characters from the original game, since they're all released now, and just do some overall kit guides and how they play in this game versus the original. And then, I want to do some videos about the Bravely Default collabs and the Nier collabs. So there's all kind of content coming. And then once the game releases, there will be, in-depth guides of characters that are being released and covering all the new content that's coming out, and guides, and going over things like the arena and then the towers. So there's so much more to come. I can't wait to, have like a routine when the game actually releases, and, be a resource for anybody who is subscribed and watching. This series I love anything Square Enix, but this in particular is just something that Octopath in general is just something like, for whatever reason, my brain is like loves so much. So there's definitely so much more to come. So give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will be seeing you guys soon with much more content to come. All right, so thanks again and peace.